We were one of the few channels that talked about the possible return of Zordon, and now with the premiere of the special episode it is confirmed that we were not wrong. If you are watching this, it is because you have already seen the special episode, because we will give many spoilers. If you don't want a lot of spoilers, you better stop the video, go and watch the special episode and then come back for all the details. Although many are going to think that the story focuses on Min, the reality is that the main part of the story is the return of Zordon. Let's analyze all the details so you can understand my point. Billy is a very smart ranger. He is even considered the smartest ranger in the whole franchise, and as we have seen, he has built a lot of technology over the years. If such a smart ranger thinks that Zordon can return, then it's because that return is imminent. Rita herself was able to give us details of what happened in Zordon's supposed death, and that is that we should begin to understand that he is coming back. Rita said that when Zordon sacrificed himself, his energy spread throughout the universe, but also her energy. This means that all those villains who supposedly died that day may also return, just like Rita and Lord Zed returned. The important thing about all of this is that this story with Zordon may be the start of a new Power Rangers series, but aimed at a different type of audience. If they manage to make a series after this special episode, then the story should focus on the return of Zordon and the return of old villains. Despite having all these old characters back, still, the series should have new Rangers, and Min would be the first Ranger of the team. She could even become the leader of this new team, and we would have for the first time in history a yellow leader. Besides the almost return of Zordon, we should mention many other things that happened in this special episode. Before the official release, many pages were contacted by Netflix so they could see the episode before its release and could give their opinion to the fans without revealing anything. Many of these pages gave their opinion and gave the episode a score of 7 out of 10. If I were to give this special episode a score, it might be an 8.5, and I want to explain my reasons. The story of this episode blew me away as it managed to surprise me, and that is very hard to do. For those of us who studied Power Rangers, we already knew certain things that could happen, so it was going to be hard to be surprised. Still, this episode managed to do it, and I didn't expect Rita to be created in such a way using Alpha 8. Nor did I expect Billy to be part of the creation of the new Rita and for her to be the creator of the monsters. For a long time, we all gave our theory about the creation of Rita and the monsters, but I never heard anyone talk about a theory that Billy was to blame for her return. Another thing that surprised me was that, even though on this channel we were among the few who talked about Zordon's return, still, I didn't expect Billy to be the one with the knowledge and hope to bring him back. We always talked about many theories about the possibility of Zordon's return, but I didn't hear anyone say anything about Billy trying to bring Zordon back either. These are the most important points of the story that surprised me, as the rest are things I could expect from the franchise. Besides the story, the other thing I really liked was the special effects in the battles. Although in a previous video we gave a critique about the effect of the destruction of the putty patrollers in the juice bar, even so, I could see that in the other scenes this effect was excellent. Another thing that we talked about on this channel and that many took us against, is that the Rangers cannot have feelings of revenge. When we talked about this on the channel, many sent us negative comments saying that Rangers are human beings, and yes, they can have those thoughts. Again, time proved us right, and Min could not become a Ranger by having those feelings of revenge. The Morphin grid is very powerful, and its power cannot be used by just anyone. After Min's sacrifice, the Morphin grid gave her the powers because she deserved it, and that kind of sacrifice is only done by heroes. Another thing that I really liked was the music, because this was what made us feel like we were in 1993 watching Power Rangers. This music was played at key moments, and the other new music was also very good and combined very well with the old music. Something very important is that we could see that the characters were more mature, with a different mentality, but they had the same essence. It is difficult to update a very old character, and, in this story, they were able to make us feel that each Ranger has matured and progressed. We will talk about this in other videos with more details of what each character has been able to achieve and how they have changed during all this time. As I have always said, all things in life have positive parts, but they also have negative ones. Remember, this is not a complaint, it is just constructive criticism that we make as fans so that the franchise can continue to improve. We must learn to take criticism as something positive and not as something to destroy. Even though when the Megazord appears it was very epic and exciting, still, the CGI was a bit disappointing. We obviously didn't expect to see a giant robot with the CGI style of a Transformer, and we have to be fair, this special episode doesn't have the budget that one of the movies has. What I find very strange is that the Zord separately looked amazing, but the Megazord didn't look as good. I also would have wanted to see the sequence of the Megazord destroying the monster with the sword the old way and not the way they did it now, as the sword didn't feel as powerful as it always looked. I think that, despite having a good story and a good outcome, it still wasn't an explosive ending. By this I don't mean literally explosions, I mean Power Rangers has always been known for ending battles with the Megazord throwing some power with the sword, and then, after that, the battle is over. The ending of this episode was like a stumble, as first the Megazord destroys the monster with a move without any power, and then Rita is still alive. We know we all would have been very unsatisfied if Rita had died when Billy ran her through with his weapon, but the final destruction of Rita could have been better. This was the opportunity to elevate that epic moment, as has always happened in Power Rangers, and they could have brought all the weapons together as has always been done. This would have created a very epic moment and would have been the icing on the cake, as with this we would have seen everything that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was. Still, we are grateful to the franchise for giving us the opportunity to go back in time and relive those moments with our lifelong heroes. We must also say that it was a great tribute to Twee and Jason. Let's hope this is not the end of Mighty Morphin, and that this is an opportunity to continue bringing the power of the Morphin grid to many people. We Power Rangers fans know that once a Ranger, always a Ranger.